Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to Let's Write a Novel Together with me, your host, Emma Desi. I'm a book coach and I'm a thriller writer, and I'm currently writing a new first draft of a new story. And I've been sharing my journey as I've been going along with you here on this channel. And up until today, I've been talking about, the process of writing, the pros and the cons of planning and discovery writing and my own sort of process and how that's changed. But today it's not about any of that, and it's just a short one about how sometimes you've got to take some time off. And this is what's been happening for me. So you might notice I'm got some fetching cream on my face because I've been ill. I've been really ill over the last 7 to 10 days. Started off with a migraine, which just wouldn't go away. And then that morphed into a throat infection, which then morphed into a cold sore. And I get these beautiful cold sores that seem to cover half my face. I don't get them very often anymore, but when they come, they really come. So this has been, my body's just been through the ringer recently, and I wanted to kind of acknowledge that this is part and parcel of writing a novel. No matter what stage you're at, you're going to have ups and you're going to have downs, and your body is going to be 100% ready to go on some days, and other days it's going to be at 0%. And really the best thing you can do for you and for your book is not to do anything but to rest, to get better. And that's where I was at last week. I didn't do anything on my book at all. I spent most of it in bed, dozing, listening to books. It's a great time to catch up on my audiobooks, but just trying to recuperate and get better. And when my kind of painkillers and everything had kicked in, and I was able to get up and do be a little bit more productive than I was, but at other times I just had to go back to bed and do the best I could with all the activities that were going on around the house. I do acknowledge I'm in a very fortunate position that my kids are a bit older now. They don't need me quite so much. I also work from home and I'm my own boss. So that does give me a much larger degree of flexibility. But equally, if you are in paid employment, then if you're ill, you're ill. And I've always been the believer that rather than take it into the office and spread it around, that the best thing I could do for myself was actually spend a day or two in bed and get better, so that I was ready to get back to my job as soon as possible. My husband's the opposite. He will plow on regardless, and that means his illnesses generally last a lot longer because he doesn't give himself that time to rest, whereas I prefer to give myself that time to rest and get back and recuperate quicker. Horses for courses. But I just wanted to acknowledge that is part of the process. Now, that said, I cannot give myself that excuse that, oh, I was ill one week, therefore I'm not going to do anything for the next 6 months. I've really got to be mindful of that and have that in the back of my head. And actually doing things like this with you is really great for me because it's a reminder for myself as well that I've got to keep going. So when I have taken a break like this, when I'm first drafting, I love to get into the swing of it, and I like to do as much as I can, consistently. And every Monday to Friday, I like to do something every day. When I've had a week where I haven't been able to do that, I find it really hard to get back into the swing of that routine and get regalvanized and get the mojo back. And acknowledging that, just being aware that that is one of my stumbling blocks, actually helps me kind of overcome that stumbling block. And so when I'm giving myself excuses and saying to myself, oh, you do it tomorrow, then that's my opportunity to kind of go, okay, well, how are you really feeling? Are you still really feeling poorly? Or, Emma, if you're able to come on and record this, then maybe you're feeling a bit better and actually you've got it in you to jot something down, make some progress towards my new story. So it's a real time to kind of just take literally a minute to reflect. How am I actually feeling in my body and in my energy? What can I do to get myself back into the mojo, to get myself back into the routine of writing this first draft? So today is one of those days. Here I am, I'm recording this for you. I'm still not 100%, as you can see, but I'm so much better than I was. And I get to do a little bit more on my work, even if it's not up to my full speed. But that's just a kind of a sort of cautionary tale, I guess, for you as well. If you're like me, and once you get out of the habit of something, it's more difficult to get back into it. But that's where you've got to dig deep. This is the job of being a writer, is that even when things aren't 100%, we've still got to evaluate ourselves, and are we making excuses not to get back into it, or are we still genuinely not up to it and need a few more days rest? So only you will know that. And it's an invitation to you to kind of take a moment to take stock of your body and your energy and where you're at, and if you're ready to go on. So that's what I wanted to share with you today, is to acknowledge that there are periods where things, life happens. That's the way it goes. And sometimes you need to take some time away and rest and recuperate. But the other side of that then is learning that that's part of the process, and learning your own response to that, and how quickly you can get back into the swing of your writing and back into that consistency. Remember, I talk about this, it's about being consistent. You don't necessarily have to write every day, but you just need to be consistent with it, whether that's 2 times a week, 3 times a week, 5 times a week, sometimes once a week. That's all that you have available to you. As long as you're consistent with that, you will make the progress that you need to make. So get to know yourself, get to know what works for you, get to know what your motivations are, get to know your own processes, and by acknowledging them and kind of being able to go, yeah, okay, that's my default position. How do I get to shift that? Allows you to jump back into your novel, jump back into your writing, and make progress with that story that I hope you are writing together with me. All right, take care for now. I'll see you next time.